This relationship drama is so toxic, it should come with a warning label. You ever dated someone and you're like, man, I wish they came with a warning label when we first got together? Just me? Okay. Maybe I should have a warning label. First story. Am I the a-hole for telling my ex that she needs to figure it out when it comes to hosting people for her grandmother's funeral, even though I am living in her grandmother's house? Okay. This story came September 12th, 2025. I have a 2, almost 3-year-old son with my ex. He is the best thing that has ever happened to me. Almost a year ago, I filed for divorce from my ex. We have split custody 50-50. As for child support, I pay $900 a month plus 100% of all healthcare and education related costs for our son. My ex was at home with our son until he was about 10 months old. At the time, she wanted to go to grad school, so we had planned to put our son in daycare. My mom, whom my siblings and I have been supporting, asked if she could watch our son rather than putting him in daycare. My ex was giddy at the idea, but I was a little hesitant because I wanted my mom to just enjoy her retirement. But my mom and my ex very much wanted to do it, so I relented. Plus, my son absolutely loves every moment he gets to spend with his Mimi. My mom has continued to be the primary caretaker of our son when my ex and I are working. My ex, who I mostly co-parent with well, wants our son to go to daycare, but my ex cannot afford daycare at all, so she wants me to pay for it. I refuse. Our son still absolutely loves going to his Mimi's house. My siblings have kids that our mom looks after too, and so my son gets a lot of time with his cousins. My mom still loves doing it, plus she was an educator and is bilingual and is doing an amazing job in that department as well. I check in with her to make sure she still wants to do it because I do not want her to be overwhelmed. Plus, the daycare here would cost about $250 to $300 a week. So I refuse. My ex says this setup makes my family have undue influence over our son's development. If that was a concern, she has never expressed that until now. Plus, why would our son being under the influence of strangers at a daycare be any better? This has been a point of contention for about the last month. Am I the a-hole? Now, I know that's not what the title says, but apparently it's getting there. And he has written, it's kind of a build up to the story, apparently. But we can chime in right there. I think we all know when it comes to parenting and children, I am not qualified. I don't like to give any type of parenting advice because I have not been a parent. Parents, chime in. I understand. I totally understand saving the cost of daycare if you have the option of having someone at home. But I can also see maybe why you would want your kid around like a school setting, other kids that aren't family. I don't know. I feel like I see both sides. I used to work at a daycare, if it counts for anything. For those of you that are new here, I was an ECE for many years in both Windsor and Toronto. I worked in toddler room, preschool room, school age, but toddler room was like my main, and preschool. I spent the most years working as a teacher there. Fun fact. Then there was another update, which came fairly recently, December 30th, 2025, 3.5 months later. My ex and I got divorced earlier this year. When we were married, we bought her grandmother's house. The house was built in the 1910s and had been in my ex's family since then. It is quite large. It was de facto the house where my ex's family would stay when they came into town for anything. This continued into our purchase of the house and was part of my decision to divorce her. Oh, interesting. When we bought it, we primarily used my premarital savings and inheritance. That was 5-ish years ago. When we got divorced, the court determined that the bulk of the house, 90%, belonged to me in accordance with our post-nup agreement. My ex tried a number of scenarios where she would keep the house, or it would go in a trust for our kid, so it would stay in the family. The only thing I would agree to is selling the house, her buying me out, or me buying her out. We went with the latter because my ex did not have the money to buy me out. The day after Christmas, my ex's grandmother passed away. She had been sick for years, and the only reason we bought the house is because she could no longer live on her own and desperately needed needed the money for end-of-life care. Anyways, yesterday afternoon, my ex's cousin showed up at the house with his family. He drove into town on the funeral on Thursday. Apparently, he and his sister texted my ex and said that they would be staying at the house. It was an inside family term for my house, and she indicated that she was okay with that. But like, I'm living here now. What about if I'm okay with it? I called my ex and I asked her why she volunteered my house for hosting people. She apologized and said she had been running around getting things done for the funeral. But she asked if I would be willing to host because they really do not have space for the people without using that house. I told her no, and that they need to get hotels or whatever other arrangements. She said they don't have the money to get everyone hotels and people are struggling financially, and that there is plenty of extra room in the house. They could just be in the finished basement with their own bathroom, kitchen, entry, and exit. I told her no. She got quite upset and hung up on me. I told the cousin and his family that they cannot stay. Am I the a-hole? Okay, but why? Like, why don't you want them to stay? Is it simply like, I just don't want them to? 'Cause there's some more detail. There's a completely separate basement with its own kitchen, bathroom, exit. Like, it's almost like they're not in your home in that sense, right? I'm just curious what the reason would be that you're so like, no. You're allowed to feel that way, it's your house, but to help them out during this time and the funeral, like, I just want to know why you don't want them to stay. The next update came January 21st, 2026, a little over 3 weeks later. Not much has happened until a few days ago. On Saturday, one of my ex's cousins, not the one who showed up at my door, we will call him Dave, texted me. As you probably guessed from my original post, I do not have the best relationship with my ex's family. There's the reason. This was true while we were together. However, I did have a good rapport with this particular cousin. Apparently, my ex and a number of the other family members had been talking bad about me in the family group chat. Dave reached out to get my side of things, but understood if I did not want to talk about it. I called him and I relayed much of what I said in my original post and my comments to him. What I learned from the conversation with Dave is, number one, my ex told her family after the divorce that she still co-owned the house with me. Number two, that I do not abide by the court's order regarding expenses for our son and that she cannot afford a lawyer to fight me on it. I set the record straight for him on both accounts. I own 100% of the house and I bought her out of her 10% share. I also pay 100% of the medical costs and childcare and education costs for our son as ordered by the court. I also pay more than the court-ordered amount for child support. We talked a little bit more to catch up and I thought nothing of it. Apparently, Dave decided to share the details of our conversation in the family group chat. On Monday, I got an angry long text from my ex about what Dave said in the group chat and that she wanted to talk. We talked yesterday. She expressed how frustrated she is with everything, that she was and still is willing to do whatever it takes to make our relationship work. Well, then you probably shouldn't be painting him in a bad way and not telling the truth. I feel like that'd be very stressful as an ex and a parent when you're trying to co-parent, when the ex is painting you in a light and it's like, well, that's not true though. Tell your family the truth. That would be stressful. She said if I am not willing to try and make it work, the least I could do is work with her so she can pay me off over time for the house. Put the house in a trust for our son so it stays in the family and not badmouth her to her family. I reiterated that there are no circumstances under which I would want to be with her, the least of which is that she's actively lying about me and our divorce to her family. I also restated that I will not let her pay me off for the house because it'll take decades to even pay me back for how much money I have put into the house, even if there was no interest. I will not put it in a trust because the type of trust she wants is specifically designed to prevent me from selling the house in the future if I need to do so. I also stated that I did not ask Dave to share any of our conversation, and everything I said said to him was 100% factual. I am doing no more than what I am legally obligated to do for her. I will only pay the child support amount that is legally required and not a cent more. I will put the extra I was paying towards the money I was already setting aside for our son. If she wants to buy the house, she can at a fair market value, but I will sell the house if or when I feel it is appropriate for myself and our son, regardless of what her and her family want. If or when I sell it, I will get the highest price possible, regardless of whether that person is part of my ex's family. And if her family keeps being a problem about the house, it will probably be sooner rather than later. She left mad, but that is where things stand. And there were no further updates. I'm curious what your thoughts are. It's hard when you have a good co-parenting relationship and then you hear that it starts like there's cracks or someone is betraying, and because I can only imagine co-parenting and how important it is to have a good, strong co-parenting relationship. Again, I can only imagine because I'm not a parent. Next story. I'm tired of my boyfriend's ex being a ghost in our relationship. This story came July 10th, 2025. We've been together for 4 years. I've been with my 29 female boyfriend, 32 male, for 4 years. He dated this one woman who is 10 years older than him for 6 years, about 3 or 4 years before we met and started dating. My boyfriend's name is Aaron, and he has an older brother, Nate. Nate recently got married to Cassie. Cassie and my boyfriend's ex, Kate, have been best friends for a long time. Okay, hold on. Nate, your boyfriend's brother, got married to Cassie. Okay. Cassie, which is your brother. Okay, yeah. Y'all may not be confused. It's just me. Your boyfriend's brother got married to Cassie, and Cassie is friends with your boyfriend's ex. Simple. So Cassie and Kate have been best friends for a long time. Nate and Cassie met through Kate while my boyfriend and her were together. Kate has a daughter, not my boyfriend's biological kid. For a few years though, Aaron and Kate lived together, so he obviously had a good relationship with her daughter. I posted a story a few months ago about running into her daughter while our families were celebrating Mother's Day and how uncomfortable that was because my boyfriend's mother refused to really say who she was to my mom. My mom was just curious and kept pushing who she was, and I knew immediately. It was a very weird situation. Kate is constantly brought up in random situations. I've learned to just deal with it. I can't help that my boyfriend and her dated for some time and she still has a friendship with Cassie. It's annoying, but it is what it is. In the 4 years that I have surprisingly been able to avoid running into her, even though she's a yoga instructor at my gym, and Cassie constantly tries to get us to go to her end of the summer party, my family does a vacation every year around that time. So I've just never gone. This has caused Cassie to get pretty upset with me, but I don't care. Cassie is now pregnant and due in August. Her baby shower is coming this Sunday. Every single woman in my boyfriend's family, including his mother, has made a comment understanding if I didn't show up because they know that Kate will obviously be there. Just a couple days ago, Aaron's cousin made a comment to Aaron saying, "The baby shower is coming up. Is Danny going? Won't that be weird?" Then proceeded to say how she likes me better and that Kate is all about herself. I am so tired of her being compared to me. I'm so tired of her having a relationship with everyone in his life. I'm tired of everyone in the family making it weird. He has a past. Who cares? She's around. Okay. Aaron and I have been together for 4 years and they have been broken up for 6 or 7 years. It is so frustrating. On top of all of this, part of me truly believes that Cassie has been dying to get Kate and I in the same room. I think she wants the interaction to happen. Cassie and I have not had the best relationship. She tried warning me about Aaron. She told Aaron after meeting me once that she didn't like me. I don't know what to do here. Why am I made to feel like an outsider? I bet no one is saying how weird it will be for her. What do I do here? How do I handle this when none of these comments are made to me? My boyfriend obviously tells them that there is no reason for it to be weird and that I'm fine with it, but how do I make it stop? I don't know. I'm wondering, like, even if you go and you act normal and you break the ice and you're like, "Hey girl, what's up? No bad feelings, like cool." Like maybe that will just cut all this anticipation and people trying to make it weird. Like show them like it's not weird. I don't know. That's super annoying though. We have an update came 4 days later. So the baby shower was yesterday and I thought about posting, but I was so frustrated yesterday that I didn't want it to be a rage post. There was no crazy petty confrontation or drama. There actually isn't anything huge to really report, but I have officially met Kate. It was Cassie's baby shower and her sister had actually ended up going into labor yesterday morning, so everyone was more concerned with that than anything else. I showed up about a half hour early to help my boyfriend's mom in case she needed it. It was just my boyfriend's mom and Kate there when I showed up. Also, her current boyfriend. She immediately introduced herself and I started helping any way that I could. She was very kind. As people started showing up though, she made a comment saying, "Oh, I should introduce myself," to everyone who showed up. My boyfriend's aunt showed up and they hugged and chatted for a bit along with Aaron's cousin. It felt so strange to watch them all interact. She still very much has a good relationship with them all. I didn't let that get to me. We had a couple more interactions where she complimented my outfit and made small talk about the food, but I didn't let the conversation go on very long. I stayed at a table with all of my boyfriend's family, his mom, his mom's friends, his aunt, cousin, etc. I felt her eyes on me most of the day. Her daughter was there too. For some reason, it stuck out to me again that my boyfriend's mom was talking to her friend about Kate and her daughter and the colleges that she got into. But all of his mom's friends were mostly chatting to me about my house that my boyfriend and I are building. One of them had even said, "Wow, the last name boys really know how to pick beautiful women." It was just something nice to hear in that really odd situation. However, I guess she would be included in that in some capacity. I got home and my boyfriend had asked me how it went because his mom mentioned that her and I were chatting. I crashed out on him. For some reason, it just hit me that this woman is not going anywhere and I have absolutely zero control of that. If we have kids down the road, one day she will most likely meet them, and for some reason, that really bothers me. The family views her in a positive light. When she was about 30/31 and dated my boyfriend at 20 and 21. Oh yeah, 10 years older, I forgot. I know some people struggled with that math in my original post, but they had to have broken up when he was 26. He dated someone between the two of us, and then I met him when he was 28, turning 29. Her current boyfriend is 8 years younger too. I know it's kind of irrelevant, but I'm so annoyed at the situation. I will be seeing her again before the end of summer at Cassie's party. I'm going once and never going again. I think I'm allowed to not want to be around her. My boyfriend feels the same way. We both know we can't do anything about the rest of the family having a relationship with her, but from here on out, we don't want to hear about her and we don't want to have contact. I know quite a bit about my boyfriend and Kate's relationship. I think she corrupted him in so many ways. I want so badly to tell his mother all the things I know so she understands exactly what kind of person she is. But at the end of the day, she got the boy and I got the man. We have another update. How is there more? The update came the next day. My boyfriend and I went on vacation a couple weeks ago and he already told me he asked his dad if he could ask me. Like, do you mean to be engaged? Last Friday was my birthday and I really thought he would do it then, but he didn't. He didn't get me a birthday gift either. No card, no flowers, which is not normal for him. Today he told me after I vented about work to get a mani-pedi tomorrow. I said, no, it's Wednesday, I'll go this weekend. But he was insistent that I go tomorrow. He also said, I made sure we got a bunch of work done on the house last weekend so we can have a nice chill weekend together. He's acting very odd. I feel like it's going to happen soon. I'm so excited. I don't want to ruin it, but I'm giddy about it. What do you think? For sure. The second a man is like, go get your nails done. I'm like, my spidey senses are already up. My nails are not done, so that would be a big problem. Lord, please, when the time comes for me, let me have my nails done. Let them be done, please. I beg. Okay, and then another update, very short, 5 days later, July 20th. My man did so good and I can't believe I'm engaged. And there's a picture of her ring. Let's look at it for fun. I love looking at people's rings. It's so exciting. Ah! Holy sh! Look at that rock. It's gonna blind me. Oh my God, I gotta zoom in on that bad boy. Oh, That diamond is huge. And all the little diamonds on the side. Oh, girl. Oh, I'm so happy for her. I know this is in the past, so like, congratulations. You might even be married now. All right. Well, a happy ending to the story. You got engaged. That's very exciting. But still let me know your thoughts on the rest of that story and how you would handle that. Because that would be a tricky situation. We've got another story, but first we're gonna hydrate. Cheers. Hope you're having a good day. Drink your water. You need it. Next story. My boyfriend told me to move out and meet his financial ultimatum, and I secretly applied for my own apartment. Did I mess up? I'm so curious. My boyfriend and I have been together for about 3 years, and we've been living together for about 2.5 years. He is exceptionally good with money, having come from a privileged family with a successful real estate business. He is strict with his budgeting. His parents instilled in him excellent financial habits, which he has carried into adulthood. My mom was a single parent and a school teacher, so we didn't have a lot of money, but we were okay. Both of us earn a good income, exceeding $100,000. Thriving. However, I've never been particularly good with money due to various reasons, including past financial trauma, a lack of financial literacy during my upbringing, and lifestyle creep. My partner and I both committed to getting married, but he has a specific requirement for us to undergo a comprehensive financial disclosure and for me to sign a prenuptial agreement. This includes a criminal background check, credit checks, and the need to show all our bank accounts and savings. At the time, I was transparent about my debt and financial situation, and he has done the same. Naturally, he has significantly more invested than I do and better credit. To make him feel more comfortable marrying me, he has set a few financial goals for me to achieve. Number 1, pay off all my consumer credit card debt. 2, build an emergency fund that covers 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. And 3, make substantial payments towards my student loans, which amount to over $100,000. Whoa. My debt was around 60, 100. I mean, I know friends that have like hundreds of thousands because they went away. They are doctors. They didn't take a drama program. But that's just, whew, education is not cheap. Let me tell you. Well, things between us haven't been great the past couple of months. We've been arguing over minor things around the house, which has triggered me to compulsively shop. We have been arguing so much that right before my boyfriend left for a weekend trip, he suggested I talk to my job and manager to see what my options would be for me to temporarily move back to my hometown for 2 months so he could have some space and figure out what he wants. He also wanted to go no contact during this time. I told him that that was a lot to ask, even though my job is mostly remote as my life is where we live. According to my contract, I have to be in the same state as my job. He insisted I lie to my job and say something was going on with my mom back home and to ask my manager if I could work from my home state to take care of her and to give him space. I did ask my job and manager, and they basically told me that I would have to take FMLA to do something like that. So that wasn't an option. When I asked him if he would honor his word and give me a couple months to move if we decided to break up upon my return, he basically said no, he wouldn't be willing to do that. Which shocked me because he's usually a man of his word. I'm not from the state where we live and I have no family or friends here, so this obviously scared me. So I started looking for places to live and I applied for apartments that night out of fear. I ended up getting approved for my dream apartment and I toured it this last week. I really liked it and I wanted to move there. I felt like this would give us some space and offer me a bit more freedom and security than I was feeling. When he got back from his weekend trip, I told him I couldn't go back home as I had to stay in the state due to my job, and he just said that was fine and for us to just continue working on the relationship. When I told him I found a new apartment, he was really upset, basically telling me to go out and find an apartment was sneaky and he doesn't see how we are going to continue to work on things if I'm living somewhere 20 minutes away. He also brought up how it would be harder for me to meet the financial goals we set if I had my own place, as I'd be paying much more for rent and utilities. He also said that me moving out would be a major inconvenience for him as I do all the cooking in the house, grocery shopping, most of the cleaning, etc. My boyfriend can't cook. I don't like any of this. Is anyone else like That's how I'm feeling on the inside. So he basically has been treating me like a piece of furniture and giving me the silent treatment the past 2 days until I made a decision on whether I was moving out or not. When I told him I wanted to stay, he asked about my progress on the financial goals, and I told him I hadn't made much progress on anything except the emergency fund. He has now drawn a bit of a line in the sand and said in 6 months to 1 year, if I haven't accomplished the goals we set, he is not going to move forward with us getting married, and we might as well just break up at that point. You know what? All I'm gonna say is, couldn't be me. I am not living under, like, to live under all of this would be so stressful and would feel like I don't want my marriage to feel like some kind of contract and that it can end at any point. If no, I don't like this. Is this normal? I understand having financial goals and being responsible, of course. But this just feels like the threatening of it. Where's the security in that? This made me nervous as he asked me during the conversation if I had racked up any additional credit card debt. I said no, out of fear. The truth is I have, and it's basically tripled. Okay, well, girl, we need to work on that. That's crazy. I get impulsive stress shopping, but girl, you've tripled your debt for some shopping. Your money, you do whatever the hell you want. I don't know how to tell him this. He is super perfect financially and I'm not, and I feel like he is super fed up with me. At this point, I don't know what to do. I think you gotta do what's best for you. You gotta think about this and how you wanna live your life and how you want to spend your money. If you wanna go off and live in your dream apartment and shop and do whatever the hell you want, do it. It's your money, it's your life. I don't know. I don't like this though. This situation is just, it couldn't be me. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.